Hello everyone! Welcome to College Thursday! I am very excited to have you all here. Let me post my comment here to let you know what the topic. Let's give it a few seconds until everybody joins. Hello everyone! Alright! Well, again, welcome to College Thursday. The topic for our Instagram Live today is how to transfer credits from a foreign university. So if you're interested in learning how you can transfer your credits that you started back in your home country and complete a bachelor's degree here in the US, stay with us. And if you have a friend that might be interested, make sure you send this Instagram Live, or if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you send this video to your friends so they can learn how they can do that. My name is Luciana Barbiero and I am the Academic and Career Advisor here at Approach. And today we will be talking about how to transfer credits from a foreign university. Are you guys excited? So the reason why we chose this topic today is because we've been having a lot of questions from students that started pursuing their bachelor's degree back in their home countries but haven't had a chance to complete their bachelor's degree in their home countries, and they're looking to finish their bachelor's degree, transfer their credits, and get a degree from an American college. So let's get started. And actually, before I start, I do want to mention that if you're watching us on Instagram, there is a little question mark below. If you have any questions related to college, feel free to ask your questions there. And by the end of this Instagram Live, I will be happy to answer them. Or if you want to answer your if you want to ask your questions in the comment section, feel free to do that, and I will also be looking at that by the end of this Instagram Live. Okay? So, again, if you want to attend a US college or university, but here's a but. You started your bachelor's degree back in your home country, right? So let's say you studied for 3 years in your home country pursuing your bachelor's degree, but you haven't finished. What can I do, Luciana? What do you guys think? So if you're one of those students who haven't finished your bachelor's degree in your home country and you are wondering how you can transfer those credits or those classes to the United States and complete your bachelor's degree, maybe in 1 year, stay with us because I will be sharing very simple tips here today that you can do that. All right. So, some questions that I want you to keep in mind about the transferring process, okay? When you're doing this process, I'm gonna ask you 3 questions here. Is the institution that you attended back in your home country recognized by the Ministry of Education? So that's important, okay? So that's kind of one of the ways that you need that your institution back in your home country is recognized by the Ministry of Education so you can transfer those credits, okay? Second question that I have here. Are the courses that you took back in your home country similar to the courses that you will be taking in the US college or university here? Another thing to keep in mind. And then, do the courses you have taken meet the requirements for the degree that or major that you're looking to transfer? Okay? Now, you don't need to know the answers to those questions, right? That's why you're here. So let's look at some steps. And in this video, I will be sharing 4 steps that you can take to learn how you can understand those questions better and how you can transfer credits from your home country to the United States and finish your bachelor's degree here, maybe within 1 year. Are you guys ready? All right. So step 1. What is step 1? If you want to study in an American college or university, what is the step 1? Yes, so if you answered learn English, you are right. So the first step before anything is to learn English, of course, right? Because what happens is that if you will study in an American college or university, the language that all the professors will be talking and the papers that you will write is in English. Yeah. And you cannot have just a basic level of English. You need to have a more advanced level of English, right? Your English doesn't need to be perfect. Maybe not even my English. I've been here for 10 years and I learn something new every day. But your English does need to be advanced, okay? And there are two things that I want to mention here in the process of learning English. Number one, maybe you're watching us from abroad, okay? And if you're watching us from abroad and you're applying for a college or university from your home country to the United States, one of the requirements might be to take the TOEFL or the IELTS, right? Sometimes they allow you to take different tests like the PTE or the Duolingo test. So it depends. Each university has different rules, all right? And also important to keep in mind that each academic institution will require a different score in the TOEFL or IELTS, okay? So that's one thing for you to keep in mind for those of you who are watching us from a different country. All right. Now, if you are in the United States and if you are a student at Approach, I'm gonna tell you that you are a lucky person. Why am I lucky, Luciana? Because Approach has partnerships with many different colleges and universities in the New England area. Good. Wow, that sounds really cool, right? All right, so what does that have to do with the TOEFL and IELTS? Let me tell you the good news. So after you complete the ESL course at Approach, you can transfer to any of our partner colleges or universities without the TOEFL requirement. What? How awesome is that? How awesome is that? Why is this so good, Luciana? Because number one, you won't need to spend 3-6 months or a year studying for the TOEFL, right? And if you have taken the TOEFL, you know what I'm talking about. You do need to study quite a lot for that. And number two, you will be saving money, right? Because to take the TOEFL, I believe it's about or close to $200 to take the TOEFL. And let's say you don't pass, you have to take it again, and it's a long process. But if you are a student at Approach and you're transferred to any of our partner colleges or universities, you don't need to take the TOEFL. You just can easily transfer. How awesome is that, right? So if you're watching us from a different country, it might be a wise idea for you to come study at Approach for a few months, depending on your English level, and then you can transfer to any of our partners without the TOEFL requirement. How awesome is that, right? So that's tip number one. So step number one, what's step number one here? Yeah, learn English. If you're in America, you gotta speak, right? Listen, hear, everything needs to be in English. So that's step number one. Okay, what is step number two, Luciana? So step number two is to get the transcripts from your college or university from your home country. So you need to contact the college or university that you studied, or maybe you are studying if you're abroad, right? And you need to get the transcripts from them. Okay, interesting information, but what is a transcript, right? So if you don't know what a transcript is, do you know the document that colleges and universities or schools in general give to students where you can see the course that you studied and the grade? So that's called a transcript. Cool, right? So if you are in your home country, it might be easy because you can just go there and get the transcripts. And if you're in the United States, that might be a little bit more tricky, but you can always ask for a family member to go to the college or university and get those transcripts for you. Okay, but why do I need that, Luciana? Because if you want to transfer the classes that you took back in your home country to the United States, that is a very important little piece that you will need for the next step, okay? So, for sure, step number 2, get the transcripts from your college or university back home. Did you write this down? If you haven't, go get pen and paper and write this down so you don't forget. Okay? So, what's step number 1? Learn English. Step number 2, get the transcripts from your college or university abroad, right? Okay, now are you ready for step number 3? So, step number 3 is find a college or university that accepts transfer credits. Find a college or university that accepts transfer credits. Okay, so many academic institutions allow you to transfer credits. Some will be more strict and they will say, nope, you have to take all the credits here. But usually those are the more selective schools. A lot of the institutions will allow you to transfer a certain number of credits. Okay, now, let's understand a few things here. Luciana, you keep talking about credits. What are credits? So let's understand this a little bit first, okay? So, number 1, if you are pursuing a bachelor's degree is equals to 120 credits. Did you write that down? It's important because you need to understand this. So a bachelor's degree, the total number of credits is 120, usually, okay? Now, why is it important to understand this? Here's the thing. Because some colleges and universities might accept 30, 60, and up to 90 credits from your previous coursework. Let's understand this a little more, right? So, let's say you studied back in your home country for 3 years, right? You were so close to graduating, but you decided to come to the United States. So let's give you an example here. I was talking to a friend this morning, and he said that his friend is in Brazil, and he is pursuing a bachelor's degree in engineering. Okay, he's pursuing a bachelor's degree in engineering. I'm not sure how long this student has studied, but let's say that he has studied engineering in Brazil for 3 years. What happens now? So this student, the third step is that he finds a college or university here in the United States that, number 1, has his program of study, right? He can't just go to a school that doesn't have engineering. He can't just go to a business school, let's say. I mean, he can if he wants to change his major. But if he wants to continue studying engineering, number 1, he needs to find a college or university that offers engineering, right? Cool. Second, it needs to be a college or university that accepts transfer credits, right? If this college or university accepts, let's say, up to 90 credits. Wow, that is really good. Up to 90 credits if he does the degree evaluation, the course by course evaluation, and transfer 90 credits. Do you know what that means? It means that within 1 year, pretty much, this person would be able to complete his bachelor's degree in an American college or university. And even better, in his diploma, it's not going to say that half of his classes he took in Brazil. It's just going to say that he has a bachelor's degree from blah blah university, as if he was a student there forever. How cool is that, right? So that's why it's important to, number 1, when you're looking for a college or university, Number one, you need to think about what courses they offer. Do they offer the same major of study of your major from back in your home country? That's number one. Number two, you need to think about how many credits would this university accept me to transfer, right? So if the university accepts 90 out of 120, that's pretty good, right? So keep that in mind. Yeah. I'm actually going to give you an example here. Let me get my computer, okay? So I'm going to show you in my computer how you can find that. Luciana, but okay, I want to study business and I saw that Cambridge College has a bachelor's degree in management. So how do I know how many credits Cambridge College will accept? Okay, let me show you something. I'm going to type on Google. I'm going to type first and then I'm going to show you because, too much multitasking otherwise. I'm going to type Cambridge College transferring credits. Okay, good. Now I'm going to show you. Stay with me. So you see that here on Google? Oh, it didn't type. Let me copy and paste here. See, when you go live, there's little things that happen. Well, anyway, it's right there. Cambridge College transferring credits. Okay. So, Cambridge College transferring credits, right? I'm going to click right there and I'm going to see. It's an undergraduate program because it's a bachelor's degree, right? Okay, right here. Do you see this? A maximum of 90 semester hours for a regionally or nationally accredited degree granting institution. Remember, that means that it needs the college or institution back in your home country needs to be approved by the Ministry of Education back home. So a maximum of 90 semester hours. You know what 90 semester hours mean? So that means that it's a lot of credits. Number one, it's 75% of a degree. So Cambridge College is an example that they accept a lot of credits. That's pretty good for you, right? So let's say if you started doing a bachelor's degree in business in Turkey, but you haven't finished and you want to finish here in the US, you could potentially go to Cambridge College. That is a college that, number one, offers business. Number two, accepts up to 90 credits. So that's a lot, right? Now, it doesn't mean that they will accept all of your credits. There is a process for that, okay? There's a process. So let's take one step farther. One step farther would be step 4. What is step 4, Luciana? What is step 4? So step 4 is getting a credential evaluation. Okay, what is a credential evaluation? First of all, right? So a credential evaluation is pretty much a comparison of the courses that you took back in your home country to the courses that are offered here in American colleges. So by getting a credential evaluation, you will know if the courses that you took back in your home country are equivalent to the courses that you will take in an American college or university. So that's the first step. But there's one little step before you do that. What's the little step? Remember, in the second step, you got your transcripts from your college back home, right? Your transcripts are in the language from your home country, right? Could be in Portuguese, could be in Turkish, it could be in Spanish. Do you think these guys will understand Turkish, Portuguese, Spanish, Polish? No, right? So one of the steps here is that you need to translate them to English, right? And I'm going to show you a website that we usually recommend to our students that you can do that. And don't worry if you're not having enough time here to write all this down. The good news is that this will be on YouTube and we will post the links on down below on the description box. Okay, so don't you worry, got you. Okay, so let's do the next step. Luciana, I need to translate my documents. Which website do you recommend? So do you see REV? Let's see. So REV is usually a website that we recommend to our students, and they're very quick to translate. So you go to services, and then, you have to look for which service you need. So probably not transcription, but it will be transcripts probably, right? What happens, REV translates your documents from your language to English, right? The average cost per page is about $33. Okay, so you can do that. Does it need to be REV, Luciana? No, you can find a different website. Just Google it and find a different website that can do the translation, okay? So that's one of those little steps in step 4. So translate your transcripts from your language to English. And then it comes the next step, that is actually the credential evaluation. So remember, I told you that the credential evaluation, you send your transcripts in your language plus in English that you translated in that website, and then you send it to one of these companies that I'm going to recommend. Those companies will look and they will say, okay, this course that this student took back in their home country is equivalent to a course here in the United States. Nice. So you can do the equivalency, and if they accept, great, you can transfer those credits. And guys, I'm going to tell you that you will save a lot of money and time, right? So important things to keep in mind. So, okay, now let me show you 2 websites that they do credential evaluation. These are websites that I usually recommend to students because they're mostly accepted by a lot of colleges and universities. But definitely you're welcome to contact the college or university that you're applying and see if they recommend a different website, okay? I'm gonna show you 2. So come with me here. And one of them is CED, Center for Educational Documentation. And again, I'm gonna post this on our description on our YouTube channel. What you do here, you download the form, you fill out all of this information. You're going to include the transcripts in your language and the transcripts in English. And the average price, it depends. It could be $90 to $190, let's say. So CED is one website that I can recommend. And the other one that maybe is a little bit more widely accepted is World Education Services, okay? And here, let's say I'm gonna go to credential evaluation. Let's look at prices, right? We're curious to see how much it costs. Education. Oops, I'm back, I think, right? I hope you guys can hear me because I think my connection is not that great. So you click on transfer admissions and then you see what they recommend, right? Where are the prices? So 7 business days, that's the average that takes for them to do that. And it costs an average of $205. So these are 2 websites that are usually pretty well accepted by colleges and universities, CED and WES. We're gonna post them on our description box down below on our YouTube channel. And obviously, again, you're always welcome to ask the college or university that you're applying to see if they recommend a different website. So those are the 4 tips that I have. Number 1, learn English, right? Learn English. Number 2, get your transcripts from abroad. Number 3, find a college or university that accepts transfer credits, and that has your major of study. Number 4, get your documents translated, and then you can get your credentials evaluated, right? So those are the 4 steps for you that if you're thinking about transferring your bachelor's degree that you started back in your home country, but you never had a chance to finish it, now, my friend, you will have a chance to finish your bachelor's degree here and get your diploma from an American college or university. How awesome is that, right? So that said, I'd like to mention that all this process, it sounds fairly simple, let's say. Fairly simple. But then you might be asking me, Luciana, when should I start all this process? Right? What do you guys think? So I would say that it's never too early to start this process, even if your English is not advanced yet. Start as early as possible researching colleges and universities here in the US. If you're watching us from abroad, start doing your research. We have a video on YouTube that we posted last week, and the topic was how to apply to American colleges. Go there, give you some tips on how you can apply to colleges. So that will be one first step. So down in the description box of that video, you will see 2 websites that can help you find colleges and universities here in the US that offer your major of study. Okay, so that's what I would say. Start with that if you're watching us from abroad. If you're watching us from here, the United States, and if you're an approach student, feel free to reach out to me and schedule a session as soon as possible. Keep in mind that students at Approach get free college advising. And guys, let me tell you that this is a great benefit. And you know, why is this such a benefit? Because number 1, if you just Google this type of service, you're gonna see that it costs a lot of money. Number 2, it can be very confusing for you to understand a whole education system from a different country. And I'm gonna tell you that you're not alone. In fact, I was actually an international student myself 10 years ago, and I navigated through all the application process and transferring credits to American colleges and universities. And I know how hard it is to understand terms, words, how can you do that? How can you graduate faster and save more money, right? So again, if you are a student at Approach, make sure you send me an email and schedule an online appointment, and I will be super happy to guide you through these steps to transferring to a US college or university. And if you're not our student yet, don't you worry. Send an email to admissions@approachusa.com and learn how you can apply to study here with us at Approach, study English at Approach with us, because that's step number 1. All right, guys. I hope this was helpful to you. If you dream about attending a US college or university, again, start early, right? Start as early as possible. Google is your best friend, YouTube is your best friend, and I am your best friend. If you are our student, I can help you through this process. You're not alone, right? So by put a lot of effort and dedication and put time into doing your research, do your research, because there are tons of opportunities out there. There are tons of colleges and universities that offer scholarships for international students as well. And you can be among these students that get that scholarship that you want, and maybe you will be paying so much less money to attend this college here. So make sure you start as early as possible and use your resources. I hope this was helpful to you. It has been a pleasure talking to you. And before I say goodbye, I forgot that I didn't look at questions. Let me just briefly go through here to see if there are any questions in particular. Yes, Anil is saying, I want to come over and learn, but step 1 is to learn English. Yes, Anil, good job. You heard my first tip. The first step is to learn English. And I'm going to tell you that when you are an international student and you are abroad, it can be, sometimes you get frustrated because you know, learning a new language takes time, but be kind with yourselves, right? Have fun in the process of learning a language, because when you're here, enjoy and learn as much as you can. If you're studying from abroad, do your best to learn English fast, because when you're here in the United States, there is a world of possibilities out there after you learn English, and you can continue pursuing and furthering your education. Maybe you can get a job here in the United States in the future after you go through all these steps and you get your degree, right? So yes, Anil, good job. First step, learn English. I think. All right. Well, no more questions? Are you guys experts already in this? All right. Great. Well, again, guys, thank you so much for sticking with me today, and it has been a pleasure. It's always a pleasure talking to you guys every Thursday and sharing information about American colleges and universities. Keep in mind that if you're watching our Instagram Live now, this video will be on our YouTube channel very soon. So if you missed any of the tips that I gave, I will be posting down in the description box the websites that I showed you in my computer. So don't worry about that. And if you have any questions, if you're watching this on our YouTube channel already and you have any questions related to college, feel free to write comments down below, and I will be happy to answer the questions that you have. Well, guys, I want to wish you an amazing Thursday, and I hope to see you all next week. Bye. Thank you.